Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Hope everybody's having a great day, a great Monday. Today is one of the great ceremonies that is the inaugural ceremony for an award that really makes a difference at UTRGV, but more than that, it makes a difference to our students, it makes a difference to our community, and it promotes the university as an accessible university for our students. They may have some type of need or some type of modification. Today we're going to celebrate very special individuals who sometimes are the unsung heroes in our universities, in our classrooms, or at provost office. These individuals that make the effort to ensure that our students, our brothers and sisters, your brothers and sisters, the children that come to this university and their parents entrust them to us. That's a great responsibility we have. When someone says, this is my child, I entrust them to you to take care of them, to make sure they're successful and that they have what they need to become whatever destiny they have in their life. It's important that we recognize that fact. And today, these awards that we're going to give in the inaugural Achievement Award Ceremony for UTRGV, and we have the honor today to have our Provost and Executive Vice President of Academic Affairs to talk to us a little bit about what it means to have an accessible campus and also student success. Would you please welcome Dr. Javier Rodriguez.
Good afternoon, everybody. Everybody had lunch? Yes? Okay. Good afternoon, everybody. It's a pleasure to be here, and thank you, everybody, for being here. It's true, you know, when we think about our university, right, and we think about, you know, some of the core priorities for the University of Texas Rio Grande Valley, we talk about student success, right? We say that at the forefront of our institution is the success of our students. We want our students to come to the university. We want our students to be successful, to retain our students, and to graduate our students in a timely manner. But in order for our students to be successful, we need to have successful faculty and successful staff, right? One cannot exist independent of the other. In order for our students to be successful, we need our faculty to be successful, and we need our staff to be successful as well. We also talk about expanding educational opportunities for our students as a core priority for UTRGV. And so we continue to develop initiatives, programs, and things of that nature to ensure we provide the very best education to our students. And we also talk about having and developing a climate where everybody at the university is welcomed and everybody feels welcome. So everybody feels welcome and everybody is welcomed. And so in order to talk about student success, in order to talk about faculty and staff success, in order to talk about expanding educational opportunities, and in order to talk about creating a climate and an environment where everyone is welcome and feels welcome, we have to talk about providing access, providing adequate access, not only to students, but to faculty and to staff as well. This is a critical component of what we do as an institution of higher education, right? And there's so many components. When you talk about access, it's not only access to a classroom, it's not only access to websites, it's a variety of services that we provide at our institution. We need to ensure that our university as a campus is accessible to our students, that our classes, that our websites, that our services are accessible to our faculty, to our staff, and to our students. And that is not the responsibility of any one individual, and that is not the responsibility of any one office. That is a community responsibility. That is a collective responsibility. And so all of us are responsible to ensuring the success of our students, faculty, and staff. And all of us are responsible to ensuring that faculty, staff, and students have access to all the services that we provide as a university. That is truly an important measure of excellence as a university or as an institution of higher education. So I want to congratulate the Student Accessibility Services, the Division of Student Success, for having this inaugural ceremony. And of course, when we say inaugural ceremony, it means it is the first, but it's certainly not the last. And I think we need to establish these types of initiatives that recognize our community for all the hard work, for their efforts, for their commitment to ensure that all individuals at our institution have access to the facilities and services that we provide. We talk about being one university distributed throughout the Rio Grande Valley. Well, that's fine when it's said, but we have to ensure that everybody has access to those services and to those facilities distributed throughout the Rio Grande Valley. So indeed, it is a community effort. It is an effort of collective of individuals that come together, committed to this one goal, committed to this initiative, because that is what institutions of higher education are about. And when I talk about excellence, this is truly a measure of excellence, providing access. So I want to thank all of you who are here today, because this is an important event. I want to thank all of you that are going to be recognized today for your commitment to this important initiative at our university, for thinking about the things that we can do, that you can do as an individual, that we can do as a unit, that we can do as a university or our community to provide access. So when you think about excellence, when you think about expanding educational opportunities throughout the Rio Grande Valley, and when you think about student success, also know that access goes hand in hand with all those initiatives, and three of them cannot be possible with the other. So once again, thanks to all of you, Michael, Steve, thanks to you, your staff, to all the people that are putting this together to recognize the hard work and efforts and important commitment that we have made, that you have made as part of the community at the University of Texas Rio Grande Valley. So once again, muchísimas gracias, felicidades, thank you very much, congratulations, and welcome.
Dr. Rodriguez, on behalf of Student Accessibility Services and everyone here today, we want to give you a certificate of appreciation for your words today. It's in Braille and print. And
Very good. Important, right?
and also a shirt which we can wear proudly, Accessibility Awareness Month.
Great. Thank you so much, Steve. I appreciate it. That's okay.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank you very much. Good afternoon. My name is Steve Wilder. I'm Assistant Director of Student Accessibility Services. Our director, Tanya Paulette, is on the island today making a presentation in connection with her doctoral program, I think. I wanted to title this talk Accessibility in Perspective and let you know how this event and award came into being, because after all, it's the first time, never heard of it before. How did this happen, right? It's hard to believe, but it's already been 47 years since the astronauts set foot on the moon. One of the most enduring reminders of that achievement is the photographs of planet Earth. Our beautiful blue planet without borders, a refuge in the universe and a haven for life. Those photographs changed our perspective of ourselves because we could finally see ourselves as one humanity. We have also changed our perspective when it comes to disabilities. I think you all know that the former name of our office was Disability Services. With the founding of UTRGV, we gave a lot of thought to that name and decided a new one was in order. We chose Accessibility Services. Everyone seems to approve of our name change. Instead of viewing people or students through the lens of disability, the emphasis is on access. Disability is still part of the picture. The students we serve still have a substantial limitation in one or more major life activities. But the limitation is not where we focus our energy. The focus is on providing access, as Dr. Rodriguez was saying. It used to be that everyone thought that if there was a student with a disability, just refer him to disability services, and they'll take care of it. That was then, before our perspective changed. Now we have come to the understanding that accessibility is a university-wide responsibility, and everyone plays a part. Now about this award, as I recall, a few years ago, we queried a listserv of disability services providers to find out what other institutions might be doing to recognize staff or faculty who make exceptional efforts to help create a more disability-friendly environment. In the process, we came across an annual award granted at the University of Minnesota called the Access Achievement Award. Fast forward to fall 2015, when our director, Tanya, and I were discussing possible goals for our department for 2015-2016. What about some way to recognize faculty and staff for their work in creating access for our students? The time seemed right. We were a new university, and our department had a new name. We proposed the idea to Becky Gadsden, our interim Associate Vice President for Student Life and Dean of Students, and she ran it by Dr. Croyle, Vice President for Student Success, and it was a go. We first announced the award to our student accessibility students in mid-May, after spring graduation. Later, we announced it university-wide. The qualifications for the award were deliberately broad. We encouraged nominations of individuals who support and contribute to access for students at UTRGV, faculty and staff who advance access on campus and foster an inclusive environment. And we asked nominators to explain how their nominee has gone above and beyond the expected in making the university more accessible to our students. The deadline for nominations was September 23rd, only 4 weeks ago. So we have been scrambling. We established a selection committee consisting of staff from our department and one other, and of a doctoral student intern at our department. The selection process was not an easy one. 28 people were nominated. Of those, there were 26 for whom we could make a judgment based on the nomination statements. It turned out that 81%, 4 out of 5, of the nominations were, you might say, disability related. That is, either they were made by students with disabilities or by faculty or staff who felt that their nominee had gone above and beyond in making the university more accessible to those with disabilities. The other 19%, about 1 in 5, did not appear to be connected with disabilities, but they still earned, we felt they should earn the praise. They earned the praise of the nominators, and the committee felt that these nominees also had earned recognition and should be recognized, even though there was not a direct link between their accomplishments and disabilities. In the end, the committee selected 2 individuals for highest recognition and the Accessibility Achievement Award, 6 more for outstanding contributions to accessibility, and 18 for important contributions. Before we begin presenting the awards, let me say that one of the award winners, Mrs. Bonnie Gunn, was nominated both by a student and by the Student Accessibility Services staff. Looking to the future, we expect still more and greater achievements in years to come. Accessibility Services is working with the Center for Teaching Excellence to draw attention to the concept of universal design for learning. We are also, which is called UDL, or initials UDL. We are also helping facilitate a UDL working group involving faculty and staff, including representatives from the Center for Online Learning and Teaching Technology. We trust that faculty and staff, through their efforts large and small, will continue to make a profound difference in the lives of the students they encounter. And the fruit of those efforts will be student success. Now I'd like to pass the baton here to Sephra Gonzalez, who will announce the awards.
Good afternoon. Thank you for joining us. As we present the awards, we're also going to go ahead and share some statements presented from those students, faculty, and staff who were nominated. If your name is called, please come forward and accept your award. Our two honorees for highest recognition will be presented with the Crystal Star. Honored with the Accessibility Achievement Award is Bonnie Gunn, Lecturer 2, Biology, nominated by both student and the Accessibility Services Office. The quote submitted: a professor with great qualities who views all students as one, who is not afraid to take on a challenge while creating an inclusive environment for students. Bonnie Gunn has been a great supporter of our students at UTRGV. She is a lecturer and lab coordinator overseeing countless labs. Despite her heavy workload, she makes an effort to communicate with students right away. She makes sure that TAs that supervise know to accommodate students with disabilities. She tries her hardest to make the learning environment comfortable for all students. Thank you, Ms. Bonnie Gunn.
We also have this.
Also honored with the Accessibility Achievement Award is Dr. Schwing Ward, Assistant Professor, Human Development and School Services, nominated by Dr. Steve Chamberlain. Quote submitted: a career focus for Dr. Ward has been on issues of access for individuals with disabilities. She has been an active member of the disability advocacy community on campus, serving as advisor for SOUL, the student organization for unique learners. Since its inception and participating in the annual Accessibility Awareness Week activities with her students, Dr. Ward is a tireless advocate for UTRGV students and dedicated to creating an accessible and inclusive environment at the university. Thank you so much, Dr. Ward. And now, our special recognition for outstanding contributions to accessibility. When I call your name, please come forward to receive your certificate. For special recognition for outstanding contributions, Rodney Gomez, Director of Parking and Transportation. The following quote was submitted about Rodney Gomez: improved parking access for those with disabilities by streamlining the permit process, created and parking accessibility awareness campaign to educate drivers about parking etiquette, advocated to ensure that those with disabilities have a voice in the Parking and Traffic Advisory Committee by including the Director of Disability Services in the part of that committee, contributing to making physical improvements to campus parking lots to improve accessibility, ensuring that all routes to the Vaquero connectors are accessible, serving as a member to the Regional Public Transit Planning process, which includes planning for projects for people with disabilities. Thank you so much. Marcella Hebard, Lecturer 2, Writing and Language Studies. The following quote was submitted for Marcella Hebard. I wanted to let you know that this is my professor I'm nominating. She is a great teacher. Ms. Hebard made me feel like I'm a normal student. That's saying a lot. She was always accommodating. She went above and beyond any teacher should. I have to say that she made me believe more in myself than I did, even due to my illness. I sometimes had to leave class. She made sure that I had all the assignments I needed. Not many teachers really do that for you, but Ms. Hebard did. This professor deserves to win. Thank you so much. Mary King, Lecturer 1, Criminal Justice. The following quote was submitted for Professor King. Miss Mary Jordan, now Miss King, I break my misconception that all college professors are intensely strict or hard with work. My nomination goes to Miss Mary King because ever since I first gave her my accommodation letter from SAS, she didn't question or analyze my body to see what was wrong with me. Mary King deserves recognition for helping make UTRGV more accessible to individuals with disabilities as myself. She indeed wants everyone to succeed, but as a student from SAS community and a unique perspective, I feel confident to nominate her for this well-deserved award. Thank you so much, Mrs. King. Belinda Rivas, Clinical Assistant Professor in Rehab Services and Counseling. I'm going to go ahead and still say the quote that was nominated, that of course nominated Ms. Rivas. Ms. Belinda Rivas. Ms. Rivas and some group of students founded the Council for Students with Disabilities at then UTPA, now UTRGV, in 2007. Ms. Rivas spearheaded and organized a formal organization in order to address and meet the needs of students with disabilities. Ms. Rivas served as a mentor for the first faculty advisor for this organization, the Student Accessibility Services Council. Although Ms. Rivas is no longer serving as faculty advisor for this group, Ms. Rivas was very innovative and passionate about the needs of students with disabilities. She sowed the seeds for the UTRGV Student Accessibility Council. She envisioned an accessible UTRGV and worked to set that into motion. Next up is Dr. Sarah Rowe, Assistant Professor, Sociology and Anthropology. The following quote was submitted for Dr. Rowe. Sarah Rowe has and continues to be an exceptional example of what it means to support students with disabilities, as well as being completely accepting of my preferred name and pronouns. She was always accepting of my partner and was totally understanding of the limitations set upon me by my mental illness. She made sure that I understood that she did not look down on me for these limitations. During a time of crisis, she made sure that I got to the counseling center. She helped calm me down and chatted with me on our walk over there. She truly cares for all her students, not just as pupils, but as other human beings with things going on outside of class. And it shows in every action. All in all, Sarah Rowe went above and beyond what was expected of her and saved my life in the process. Last but not least, Jorge Vidal, Lecturer 2, Civil Engineering. The following quote was submitted for Professor Vidal. I am a student with disabilities due to an accident. I move around on a power wheelchair. Professor Vidal once mentioned that he has a very close friend that due to an accident, his friend also moves around in a wheelchair. Due to his friend's disability, he learned the needs and difficulties persons with disabilities go through on a daily basis. I tried to go into the civil engineering building and the door would not open by pressing the device designated for automatic opening the door for students with disabilities, for faculty and staff. Professor Vidal saw me struggling with the door and quickly came to assist me. He noticed that the device was malfunctioning and he called the corresponding department so it could get fixed. Within a couple of days, the device was repaired. When I was taking his class, we needed to use measuring equipment in order to complete our lab assignments. Due to my disability, it was complicated for me to use the measuring equipment, and he suggested to use my wheelchair as a measuring method. And I took advantage of it. Thank you so much, Dr. Vidal. And now our nominees for important contributions to accessibility. As I read your names, please come forward and receive your certificates. nominees for important contributions to accessibility. Dr. Patricia Teresa Feria Arroyo. Dr. Salvador Contreras. Kelly Croden. Cecilia Garza. Selena Garza, my apologies. Chase Garza. Dr. Sara Grizzle. Dr. Jenny Johnson. Rosalva Longoria. Mr. Jaime Lopez. Beatrice McMenamin. Miss Aubrey Murray. Dr. Mark Noe. Dr. Seder Rahman. Dr. Dagoberto Ramirez. Sophie Ann Park. Marisela Perez. Danessa Peterson. And last but not least, Dr. Mimosa Stevenson. For our closing remarks, I'm going to go ahead and give it back to Dr. Michael Banegas.
What a great day. Give yourselves a great round of applause. I'm definitely humbled by my peers, my colleagues, my friends, to know that we have the support of each and every one of you. And there's hundreds more out there in those classrooms and in the community that are making a difference. We need to ensure that we continue to be that voice, that we continue to be the voice of change, not in the dark ages where we would hide our people with disabilities in dark rooms and institutions. Allow them to come to great universities, become great stewards of our world. With your permission, I'd like to humbly read a poem that is called In My Heaven. In my heaven, there's no wheelchairs. In my heaven, everyone takes the stairs. In my heaven, there's no need for lifts. In my heaven, we all have movements, the most priceless gift. In my heaven, there's no white sticks. In my heaven, there's no guide dogs. In my heaven, there's no braille. In my heaven, there's no excuse to fail. In my heaven, there's no sign language. In my heaven, no one needs a hearing aid. In my heaven, we all hear the spoken words. In my heaven, we understand exactly what is said. In my heaven, we all drive cars. In my heaven, we all are sports fans and sports stars. In my heaven, we all run free. For in my heaven, there is no disability. We have the power to bring about change, and as long as we have people like Dr. Javadan Rodriguez, that no matter what type of request we send to him, he's always willing to listen. Those are the types of individuals that have allowed us to bring about name change of counseling services, disability offices, veteran services. Everything that used to be student support, the names have changed because we want to make it more accessible to everyone. We don't want the shame of students walking into an office, needing assistance, and because of a title or a label or the way that they're being judged. I applaud you and think everything that you're doing is great, but we still have a lot of work. A lot of work. Continue to make our Army stronger. Continue to increase your knowledge of accessibility and disabilities, and know that you have a family, that we love you very much and we care deeply for you. This concludes our ceremony. There's some food in the back, some drink. I really appreciate what you do. Continue to do it and know that we're here to serve. Thank you.